Cool. How we doing tonight? Kenny B here from City City Suburbs. You know I was going to come at you at 4 o'clock. Hold on a second. Love this drum pipe. This is a song from my friend Paul Cunigonis. Paul Kill. Jammed out with him yesterday. Had a great time. He is the best, man. He is the best great guitar player. Teaches me every time we get together. Nice. That's called like a reggae, a blue. And he wants me to put some drum stuff to that. So that's an electronic drum part right now. But he's going to unleash the Kenny B. Mic me up. Break out my big old Tamas. Right? Break out my big old Tama drums. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and it is Sunday, May 19th, right? Yes. So we'll see you in 100 years. Think about it. Anyway, the weather is beautiful. Thank the weather. It had to break sooner or later. It just had to. I mean, we got the rain, right? And then we had the rain. And then we had the rain. And then we had, more rain. Then we had, 31 out of 45 days that rained. But the flowers are doing well. I can't argue with Mother Nature. I do not control that. So don't get mad at Mike Wonkum. I just got through watching Mike Wonkum on the news, Channel 5. What a fun guy. I mean, he can really. That Mike Wonkum on Channel 5. You guys watch Channel 5? I ditched Channel 7 years ago when something happened with the union contracting and they carried WHDH the way they do. But either way, all those TV stations are very commercialized and make you feel good about driving. Make you feel good about driving in traffic and make you feel good about the weather. But that Mike Wonkum, man, that guy can make you feel good about setting up a beach umbrella, all right, in South Carolina when there's a hurricane coming in. You just, Mike Wonkum, cool. Sports, three games with the Houston Astros. Astros visiting Fenway Park. We were able to salvage today 4-3, the last game of the series. Astros look great. Didn't really appreciate though the Joe O'Brien and Dennis Eckersley and Jerry Remy talking about, and I'm going to call you guys out right now, about the Houston Astros running away with the West already by 20 games. Go back and look at some of the transcripts. But, you guys were just having fun today instead of calling a game. So you guys suck. I don't like listening to you. Jerry Remy, love you. But Dave O'Brien, here's $5, tape it to your thumb and, hit the road. Dennis Eckersley, you're all full of yourself now that they all pumped you up. But I did not appreciate that at all. We're talking about the Red Sox. We're talking about localized sports. So that's my rant, and I am entitled to it. Today's high temperature, 107 degrees at Falcon Lake, Texas. They've been on a show before. They'll probably be on the show again. Well, who knows? So I'm hearing July and August in New England are going to be, off the record, off the charts as far as unusually warm. Again, go watch the movie Knowing. Low temperatures, 10 degrees at Pikes Peak, Colorado. Hello, Ryan. I'm seeing you. So today, Worcester Magazine. You guys did an okay job, I do have to say, covering the Worcester Midtown Mall. I'm not in a good mood tonight, and I don't care. The Midtown Mall was sold Okay, they went into a big meeting in April because there's certain things that the city wanted to take the Midtown Mall because it's all part of the urban renewal plan from Main Street, Front Street to Commercial Street. And so there was Dean Marcus who owned the Midtown Mall. I don't know what his other properties are, but there was a lot of pressure brought to bear on Mr. Marcus. And, you know, he's owned it for 3 decades, which for all you folks, you know, who aren't, you know, writing cursive anymore, 3 decades is actually 30 years, but there's probably more than just 30 years. So it went to the Worcester City Council, the Worcester Redevelopment Authority back in April. It's all part of the urban renewal plan for Front Street. And so unfortunately, the city said, well, we're going to take it by eminent domain. If you don't clean that piece of property up and fall in line, and I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but tonight's cast is different. I'm pro. Well, I'm not. I'm being libertarian here. I'm not with the city on this issue at all. They pressured Mr. Marcus. Okay, you know he's owned it for 30 years. 30 years. Okay, now they're clamping down on him, clamping down like, hey, you got to do something with that property. Where was the city 30 years ago, guys? Come on, 30 years ago. Now you're leaning on all the local businesses to fall in line with some urban renewal plan. Right? So what gives? You brought the Worcester Center, the Worcester Center Galleria back in the late 60s, early 70s. Now you're blaming and putting pressure on proprietors that actually have been investing in downtown Worcester long before the billions or the millions and the billions of dollars that are funneling in from private corporations that most people from Worcester don't even know about. I would really, I'm going to, and I want my friend, Mr. Jordan Levy, on his show, instead of talking about Donald Trump and all this, we can get that on the late night shows, Mr. Levy. Okay, we can get that. That's all over. You know, your opinion should be where you were mayor. Were you a mayor? Okay, you're going to have the city manager on there tomorrow night, Mr. Augustus. Okay, like the man very much, but I'm going to call you out. Okay, the city has some responsibility too of the way the Midtown Mall looks, is now, and the way it ended up. Downtown Worcester died, right? It died. You could smell it. You could smell it 25 years ago. But we're going to focus on, and Worcester Magazine, that's great, starting over. Starting over. Wow. God almighty. You know, we couldn't keep a Burger King down there. We couldn't keep a McDonald's down there. You know, what about, and it's not just the Midtown Mall. Look at the Commerce Building. Sandblast it, clean it up a little bit. Okay? There's so much responsibility, and ends up, the buck stops here. The buck stops with the city. It's not about the Midtown Mall. It's not about Main Street. It's not about this. Okay? I'm really PO'd tonight. You know, there's a new owner, Felicio Lana. Okay? And that's who Dean Marcus sold his property to. Okay? Because the city didn't want to own the property. Okay? They don't want to own the property. And I said that a few weeks ago, and everybody knows that. You know? I'm just stating the obvious. But I love it. Get this off my chest, you know? You want to get Main Street, you want to get downtown involved. You know, get the politicians out of the way. Worcester has a culture, a history, an organic, if you will, an organic origin, which took 200 years to find its way before the Blackstone Canal opened up in 1825, where that barge arrived. The first barge arrived from Providence. And we were not landlocked anymore. We became an industrial city. We welcomed people. I'm not saying it was the greatest. We are, the product of an era and that has gone by. I understand that. We need to make some serious decisions about the way our inner cities look, whether it's Worcester, Cleveland, Columbus, Pittsburgh, Chicago, the inner cities of America. I understand that, but so now you have a new owner with the Midtown Mall, who I have learned has properties, owns all the properties, and there's been violation codes, there's been this, there's been that. The new owners of the Midtown Mall, which is Felicio Elena, took control of that property. The tenants there, and some are new, and some have been there for a while, but they said it's the first time they've seen someone or an entity, an owner, actually come in and clean up the property a little bit. And they can't understand why the city's being so hard on them. Well, we'll see what happens. So we are stuck. And the city actually still, I guarantee you, the city is going to take that mall. They're going to take that mall. It kind of reminded me of like a football game between Mr. Marcus and Mr. Lena. I'm going to ladle you the football. We got money moving around. You already own all the property. Think that little restaurant, the Shangri-La on the corner of Commercial and Front Street. That thing has been so many things, but it's had rodent problems, it's had gas problems, it's had infrastructure problems. And the city's coming in and saying, well, you have 24 hours to clean this up. Well, something, guys, you watch downtown die, and I'm challenging the leadership of Worcester tonight. Maybe we don't need a strong city manager anymore. Maybe we need a strong mayor. I don't know. This is nothing against City Manager Augustus or you, Mr. Levy, or whomever. But I'm putting it out there tonight. I'm Kenny B. And I can speak the way I want to speak. And but as a kid growing up in Worcester, I'm not getting all nostalgic on you, but people know we've seen churches destroyed, right? We've seen retail. I've heard on Mr. Levy's show, I've heard that retail will never return to Worcester downtown. Well, now we have certain people, if you will, living downtown. And wouldn't you like to come down from that high rise and go shopping? And okay, but it's an older city, and we have to work within the best interest of the tenants. Okay, you want to kick the tenants out of the Midtown Mall? I agree. It's not it's nothing like it was, believe me. But there are at least people that are trying to make a living down there. And $12 a square foot too. That big sign. Man, there's so much stuff going good and going bad. I'm just hoping when the whole soup boils, I'm just hoping it really tastes good. So anyway, guys, I'm going to ditch out on you. I'm going to keep fighting for Worcester. I'm going to keep calling you guys out, the citizens of Worcester, and I'm going to keep calling out the city of Worcester. Okay? And the buck does stop, okay, at the city manager's desk. Okay? And the city council. And I'm also encouraged by reading in Worcester Magazine, there are a lot of younger people filing their papers to run for city council. That is the way to go. Connie Lukes is done. Okay? Toast. let's bring in some new blood to Worcester, okay? The way this is going to be all tied together is if we bring the younger folks, get them involved. All right, we are a city on the move, but we should be a community on the move. Our pavement, our roads need to look good, feel good. Our school systems need to look good. We need to fix Rice Square and Worcester East Middle School. They're terrible. There's a lot of things we need to do. So we spent a lot of media and print on what's going on downtown. That's great. Should be a hub. And it is a hub. But also the outlying communities, the suburbs of Worcester also need the same attention. We're an aging city, but let's bring it back to be a newborn, right? All right, guys. All right. Anyway, don't get too mad at me, you guys, all right? I'm with you. All right, Kenny B signing out from Cities and Suburbs. Tune in on Wednesday. Glad to see you. 7 o'clock-ish. All right, cool.